Hi, I just want to give you a quick tour of the course website for those of you who are not familiar with Desire to Learn. And also, the Desire to Learn's changed a little bit too, so I want to make sure you have a sense of how this works and also how the course looks. So we're sitting on the home page for the course, which obviously you've gotten to because you're watching this video. And you'll see the news area here. Make sure that you scroll down through all the news. What you see right now is the course welcome, which will probably be on the bottom of your page. There will also be a video, welcome video by me, this video of course, and then a video about how to get to the podcasts, which you may find helpful. The podcasts basically are recordings that I made during in-class lectures that people have found really helpful in trying to understand the material. And you're going to find that there are a lot of different resources for each section. Now, I've changed the way I do the course. I used to divide it into bigger sections, and based on feedback from students, what I've done is I've divided all the work into weekly sections. So every week you'll get a new unit available, and that unit will have the week's work. And so as you can see, the future units and their dates that are available are here, and to the right here under the calendar. And every assignment is going to be due at the end of the unit, and the unit ends on a Monday because class started on a Tuesday. So that's the way it's going to work throughout the semester. If you go to the bottom, here's the content browser, and it shows the 2 available units. I think it does some other things too, and so I'm going to go through the top because I'm really not sure about this area here, but I believe you can get to all the units here. And so let's start with the content, because every week then, well, actually I'm going to go through, let's start with the syllabus. So the syllabus is here, and it's a PDF. And I think everything should be fairly self-explanatory on the syllabus. One thing that I do want to show you with these PDFs is instead of doing the actual PDF, they do the image. So if you click the links, they're not going to do anything for you. But if you go to the bottom where it says download and you actually download the PDF as a PDF file rather than just as an image here, these links will work. Okay, so that's what you'll want to do in any course really where you have these documents that have links. And so here's the syllabus, and it explains how much everything is worth, who to contact if you have questions, and things like that. All right. Now, excuse me, let's go back. And I want to go back to that introductory area, if I can. Under Contact and Community, excuse me. Basically, these are ways you can reach me. I know that one of the issues in an online class is staying in touch with your instructor, and that can be a challenge. It can be a challenge for you and a challenge for me. So here's my email. Again, if you download this, the link will work. You can email me through the Desire to Learn email, which is accessible at the top of the page. You'll see a little picture of an envelope up here. That's where you can go to email me or any student in the class, really. There's a text number here, and this is a text-only application. So you can use this to text me. Please identify yourself and the course that you're in when you text me, just so I know who I'm talking to. I've got a lot of different courses, and so if you say, what's the homework that's due tomorrow, you could really confuse me. My office, I'm on the Westminster campus in C1811, which is on the far east side of the main floor. Please feel to drop by, and you can come by my office. Phone, it seems so antiquated to talk about phones these days, doesn't it? But here's my phone, and it does have voicemail, and so you can call me there. Although honestly, it's just as easy to email me, and I get the message actually just as quickly. And also, if you want to make an appointment to talk by Skype, by Google Plus, or anything like that, I can certainly talk to you by Instant Messenger or by those video messengers. And in addition, If you're interested, there's a Facebook group called Logic at FRCC. So if you go into Facebook and you type in Logic at FRCC, there's that Facebook page. You don't have to friend me to join. You can just join. And I see there's a typo there, and I should fix that. So it may be fixed if you go look at this page. But anyway, these are all the different ways to contact me. Going back to the syllabus and schedule area, we have the course schedule. And so if you want to see, look ahead and see what we're covering for each unit, I've got the text section, I've got the topic, and the assignments that are due for each week, just so you have an idea of what we're covering when you look ahead. If you need specific information that's not being covered there, just post a question or shoot me an email. Important dates, these are drop dates, withdrawal dates, things like that. And here's another thing that I included. Every semester I ask my students for hints about what works and what tips they have for other students. And actually I had a work study compile this into a document that you might want to read through and just get people's, you can get people's opinions. Again, I've made some changes to the course, so if there are comments that don't make sense, like say, the units are of different length or something like that, it's because I've made changes and made the units similar length. So, realize that some of the comments may seem obsolete. Okay, and so this is all in the introductory unit. Now, if we look at week 1, all right, the first week, and every week is going to be laid out similarly. Basically, start with the weekly summary and activities, and what you'll see here is just a quick summary of what we're talking about in this section. And then there will be some resources that you can use. And in this case, we're just going to do 1.1. And part of the reason for this, by the way, is I really want to give you this week to look around the course. You'll read Hurley chapter 1.1. There's a PowerPoint that you can look at. And all of my PowerPoints, by the way, are designed to be standalone. But you can also look at the PowerPoint while you listen to the podcast, because the podcast and the PowerPoints do go together. And then, so these are all the resources. And so for every week, I will give you the resources that you can use for that week. And it's a really good idea to use those. Don't rely solely on the book. It's sort of like taking a class and not going to class and just reading the book. It makes it much more difficult. So please use these resources that I have posted for you. As far as activities go, I give you a link to the discussion, the homework problems that are due for the week, and also there's a link to the Dropbox, and that's what's due this week. So every week you'll have discussion and homework due. All right? So every week, each week, a new unit will pop up, and you'll get this page, and that's the first page you should go to. Now, if you look below that, you'll see that the PowerPoint and other, if there's videos or other things will be down here. Here's a link to the discussion and also a link to the homework. But I'll show you this with the Dropbox too, although you can reach the link here as well. The podcast, you'll see another video about how to access the podcasts, and they're on iTunes U. And if you look at that video, you'll see how to use the podcast for each section, and they're divided by section. So obviously you would look for the 1.1 podcast on iTunes. All right. And so that's how the content is organized. And each week a new unit will come up with all of the resources and the weekly summary. Okay? And clearly if something doesn't make sense, please email me or ask me or post a question. Now, here are the discussions. And again, each week we'll have a discussion. And I realized just now that I have not posted yet the Chapter 1 discussion, but I will have that posted for you soon. And by soon, I mean it will have been posted by the time you get online. And so this is where you go to the discussion. And again, there will be discussions for all, I think I've got up to week 7, but there will be discussions for all the 15 weeks here. And the Dropbox is going to be where you turn in your homework. And you can see that there. The best way to turn the homework is to open the Dropbox, do your homework on a separate file, a Word, a PDF, or an RTF file. Save it as a file, go to add a file, upload it, and then send it in. That way, if there's a problem, if you do it right in the comments box, if there's a problem and your homework disappears, then it disappears. This way I can find it. Don't forget to hit submit after you upload the file. Okay, and that's how you're going to turn in your homework, which is due by the end of the week. It's also how you're going to turn in the last 2 exams, which are basically take-home exams. You may be able to see some exams right now. Don't look at them because I'm going to update them. They're not going to help you. Under quizzes, we have exam 1 and exam 2. So the first 2 exams, they're going to be timed. You're going to take them online. The last 2 will be like take-homes where you'll submit them through the Dropbox. All right, and that's really what we have here. There's also a grade book where you can check your grades. I'm in the process of putting it together again because I've made major revisions, and so you know, the discussion items are actually out of 5. The proportions will be the same as is listed on the syllabus. All your homework grades are here, your exam grades, etc. And so this is where you find your grades in the grade book. All right, and so this is how the site is going to look. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the discussion area. I will have discussions posted for you, but also you should be able to ask questions on the homework and the material as well as completing the discussions. I will say this, on the homework, the way it's going to work is the homework is due by the end of the unit. Once you submit the homework, okay, so once you submit the homework for week 1, there is a key that will show up. You can't see it because the homework has not yet been submitted. Okay, but suppose let me show you this. I kind of like this. So I do the week 1 homework, and I add a file, which I'm not going to do here, and then I just decide to comment because that's the way. Let's just say this homework was awesome. Let's spell awesome correctly. And we're going to submit the homework. Okay? Now, as soon as we submit the homework, really, this is new. Okay, I'm going to add a file. I don't know what I'm going to add here. Sure, I'll put my parents' Christmas list. Why not? And so I'll add the file. Done. Now I'm submitting the homework. Okay. Now once the homework is submitted, if I go back to content, you'll see that there's a new file. And this new file is week 1 answer key. So as soon as you submit the homework, the answer key shows up. You can then take the answer key, compare it to your homework, and see how you're doing. If there are areas where you need help, where you have questions, post it for the discussion. If you probably for the week that it is. So for example, if you submit week 1 at the very end of the week, then post your discussion in week 2. If you submit it in the middle of the week, post your discussion in week 1. Okay? It really doesn't matter. The idea is that I want you to be able to ask questions on homework problems you don't understand. All right? And I think that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, email me or post questions in the discussion, and I hope you enjoy this course. Bye.